This chevron is similar to the first chevron we did, except it adds an additional increase and decrease to make the ripple effect more pronounced. So you'll see this ripple or zigzag here is much deeper than we did on the first two chevron patterns. That is why we call this the deep chevron. So the differences are the increases and the decreases to make those peaks and valleys higher and lower. The stitches that you do in between remain the same. So that changes our multiple to a stitch count of multiples of 14 plus 3. So I've done my chain here. This is 31 stitches, so I have 28 chains for our multiples of 14 plus the 3 chains added to the end. So we are going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So this one does not count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to place 2 double crochet in this first stitch rather than the placing 1 double crochet that we had in the others. And that makes 3 double crochet in the first stitch because your chain counts as your first double crochet. Then, like the other patterns, we are going to double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now this is going to bring us to our first decrease. Now instead of doing 1 double crochet 3 together, as we've done in the previous pattern, we are going to do 2 double crochet 3 together. And that is going to make our decrease deeper. So we're going to begin our double crochet 3 together. It's the first section, the second section, and the third. So that's our first double crochet 3 together. And then we are going to do the same thing directly next to that. So we're going to decrease the next 3 stitches and another double crochet 3 together. And that brings us to our first increase, which is also the beginning of our pattern repeat. So just like actually I missed a step there. We got to add our 3 double crochet stitches first. Let's go back and add them. That's 2 and 3. I kind of get in the motion of counting 1, 2, 3 in my head, and since we're adding that extra decrease there, I accidentally skipped them. But now we are where we're going to start our increase. So we are going to do 2 increases, just like we did 2 decreases. So we're going to add our 3 double crochet in 1 stitch here. And directly next to that, we are going to do our next 3 double crochet in 1 stitch. That completes our first increase. So you'll see there are 2 double crochet 3 togethers directly after each other. Now we're going to double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Two and 3. And now we are at our next decrease. So again, we're going to double crochet 3 together 2 times. Second part and the third part. And directly next to that, we are going to do another double crochet 3 together. And there's the first part, second part, and the third part. And then we are going to do our 3 double crochet. actually appears as though I missed a chain somewhere. I did. So I'm going to go back. I accidentally skipped that chain. So we're going to pull that out. That's the great thing about chevrons, is you can easily spot your mistakes. So you can see I accidentally went in the wrong stitch. So we are going to go back and fix that. And that brought us to our second 3 double crochet in 1 stitch, which was the beginning of our pattern repeat. Now we're going to put in our double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Some stitch patterns you always have to go back and refer to the chart or look back at the pattern, but with chevrons, once you kind of get into the ritual of doing it, it becomes very easy. It's a very mindless type of pattern. So we're at our decrease, so I have to double crochet 3 together 2 times. The first row is always the hardest. So the first row that you do is always the one you have to kind of pay attention to the most. But once you lay the groundwork, it becomes much easier. So I'm going to do the second double crochet 3 together. That's the last part of that. That completes the second double crochet 3 together. Now I'm going to do double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Two. Oh, slippery little suckers. And 3. That leaves us with 1 remaining chain. If we were doing a longer swatch again, we would just continue our pattern repeat, but we're at the end. So we are going to mimic what we did on the other side and end with 3 double crochets in 1 stitch. There's 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to put this down so you can take a look at the foundation row after it's done. And you can see that it's much more pronounced in this chevron than it was in the 2 previous chevrons that we did. Now we're going to do pattern row 2, and this is the row that you're going to repeat for the remainder of the pattern. You're going to chain 3 and turn, work into the opposite side. And again, you're going to do 2 double crochet in that first stitch, which counts as 3 double crochets in the first stitch, including your chain 3. Now double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, a little more yarn here, and 3. Now you're back at your decrease. Now for this decrease, it's a little bit different since we're doing 2 instead of the double crochet 3 together from the previous row being in the center of your double crochet 3 together, as it was in the first chevron. The last part of your double crochet 3 together is going to end in your double crochet 3 together from the previous row, and your second double crochet 3 together is going to begin in the second double crochet 3 together from your previous row. So we're going to do the first portion, the second portion, and the third, and that should end in the double crochet 3 together from the previous row. If it doesn't, then you missed a stitch somewhere, and you can easily go back and find where that is. And that's why I absolutely love chevrons, because they are no fail once you get them down. The second double crochet 3 together begins in the double crochet 3 together from the previous row. And now you have your 2 double crochet 3 together. And they line up with the 2 double crochet 3 togethers from the previous row. Now you're going to do 3 more double crochets, so double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And that brings you to your first increase, which is also again the beginning of your pattern repeat. Now in this case, your first increase is going to take place in the last stitch of your previous increase. And the second increase is going to take place in the first stitch of the previous increase. So here's your previous, and your first increase is going to happen right there, and here's your second, and the first increase is going to happen in the first stitch. And that stacks your increases. So 3 double crochet in the first, and then 3 double crochet in the second or next, and that completes the first increase, or the first part of the pattern repeat. Now you're going to do your double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches again. So you can see where it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 as you're moving through the pattern. So it's an easy way to kind of keep track to yourself. And you're down to your next decrease. Again, it ends in the decrease 2 together from the previous row. And your next double crochet 3 together begins in the decrease or double crochet 3 together from the previous row. And you're going to double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And if you were continuing your pattern, you would start again at your repeat, which is your asterisk in your pattern. And you are going to end the same way by doing 3 double crochet in the top of the last stitch, which is your turning chain from the previous row. Now again, we're going to change color, so I am not going to finish that last double crochet. I'll leave 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to change color. And that just helps you see a little bit better where our increases and decreases are going to take place. So you're going to yarn over with your new color, finish your stitch. Again, this is just a temporary knot, just to hold things in place until I'm done. Some people do prefer to leave the knots in their crochet, and that's fine as long as you know the rules. Once you know them, you can break them all. All right, we're going to chain 3 again and turn our work and do 2 double crochet in that first stitch again. And that's our 3 double crochet in the first stitch, including our turning chain. Now double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Get my little tail out of there. 2, 3, and do my 2 double crochet 3 togethers. With the second or the last part of that ending in the decrease from the previous row, and the next one beginning in the decrease, the second decrease from the previous row. So you can see once the colors change, it's a little more obvious how they kind of stack upon each other. They're a little off center because each row turns, but when you finish, they all line up on top of each other. Double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, which brings us to our increases, which is again the first part of the pattern repeat. And the first increase goes in the last stitch of the previous row's increase. So 3 double crochet in that stitch. And the second increase goes in the first stitch of the previous increase, or double crochet, 3 double crochet in 1 stitch. There's my 3rd double crochet in that stitch, which finishes my increase, and you can see again that they stack upon each other. Now we are going to do our double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. To our next decrease, we're going to do our decrease 3 together. and the next decrease 3 together. I'm pulling some yarn here with me. Yep, which made me mess up there. So we're going to start that over. There's the last part of our double crochet 3 together. And we're almost at the end. We're going to do our double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Again, if we were continuing, we would start with the beginning of our pattern repeat, which is the increase, but we are going to end it with 3 double crochet in the last stitch. And you just continue repeating pattern row 2 until you get to your desired height. And we'll just take a look at that. And that is your completed sample for the deep chevron.